Hello viewers, I'm SB. Welcome back to Nine Sols, where I did this thing finally. Unlike most of the other bosses where like backing off from it for a night and then coming back to it was enough to nail it down in like 1 or 2 hits. This one I was grinding against for a while, including, I don't know, at least 4 times where I got him down to within a single hit and then made one error and thus had to do everything all over again. Yeesh. But here we are for the sad part. I mean, to a certain degree. At this point, I'm feeling vengeful enough that I'm not as sad as they probably will want me to be. I put so much effort into his makeup. His corpse is almost completely decayed. And before liftoff, was he already in a... Shut up! So what? He'll be fully cured as long as he keeps getting his shots. Fushi. Don't listen to him. New Kunlun has done away with sickness, old age, and death. We'll stay here together until the end of time. We promised as much. Once you get better, Fushi, let's go to the theater together, okay? Yeah, see, I really do think that's a thing where, like, the story's doing one thing and the gameplay's doing another thing, because hugely fuck them. Is they're taking all of the anger that should be aimed at the developers for the way that fight and run back is designed. Especially, like, part of the problem there is that most of Phase 2 even is pretty straightforward. It's just like the thing that was problematic was the bits where the patterns of crossed snakes were coming down with space in between them, and you like when they're coming down all in a row out from the wall, all you do is run away, right? Obviously you run away, and sometimes you have to turn around and parry and attack while you're running. But when they're doing the thing where they come down with space between them, it happens for such a long time and over such a large part of the arena that you are going to still have to fight, and you have to figure out, like, what is the safe way to deal with each attack without getting bounced into a snake, because you can't parry them and they deal a really significant amount of damage. And that just takes a little bit of practice, but the fact is you're not even guaranteed to see that attack every single attempt. And so, like, to accumulate that practice, it's something that ends up happening over a very, very long time, kind of intermittently if you're lucky. And until that point, that attack can show up and just, like, break any attempt. And that is a really shitty way for this to go. I think it's one of the core problems with this, the Dark Souls Estus Flask style health system, where the developers treat you as though you have 1,000 health when what you have is 100 health 10 times. Because if the health is not continuous, then it really affects learning a fight in very different ways than if it is. And I don't think the developers here, at least in this game, are treating it like it's discontinuous health. I don't know. I have a lot of strong opinions about the things that the popularity of Dark Souls did to the design of very nearly all action games. And we don't need to get into all of them now. Don't dwell on it. This isn't their fault. And it's definitely not yours. Beautiful. Just as our clan's lead actress should be. I am developing a new cure, but I can make an exception and let your brother try it out. Time for your shot, Fushi. You'll be better in no time. So this was it's hard to say whether this is what the cure did to him or whether this is what would happen to every, to what degree is this the cure, and to what degree is this the disease behaving in a somewhat arrested state so that it can keep working without, like, actually killing you? Although, killing, I guess... We don't know at exactly what point the corpse, at what point they become, There's a lot that is hidden by the nature of the storytelling. These feelings emerged in a haze, but they deepen with each passing day. Yep, and of course you're supposed to, be perceiving some kind of mirror here with Yi and his sister and everything, but, like, obviously not a perfect mirror, a sort of a twisted mirror with Yi and his sibling, but again, all of that stuff, most of the kinds of feelings that you could have are going to be very blunted by how extremely annoying learning that fight is. Alright, a soul seal. This one, new soul seal, containing the character Gunk, signifies selflessness. Yep, that's certainly what we were perceiving out there. And this here is the Tianhuo serum, part of Nua's private collection, handed over to Abacus to assist with research on the Tianhuo mutations. I wonder if we can actually help people. According to the label, this serum is a restricted item from the research center, indicating that it was outside the reach of ordinary people. Yeah, well, it wasn't functional yet. Do you require any assistance, my lord? Well, it appears Fuxi was receiving some kind of treatment, and I found some vials of blood serum in Nua's room. It might have something to do with the Tianhuo mutants. Well, that's great news. Our research has hit a bottleneck, so this new discovery might lead to a breakthrough. If you can, please bring it back to the Four Seasons Pavilion. I'll be able to use my instruments to analyze its contents. Gotcha, got it. I don't know if he meant bottleneck so much as roadblock, it seems, but let's get out of here. Really, are we still... I can't actually kill you, can I? Nope. Don't you do it. Don't you spike me. Alright, let's get the hell out of here. I've had enough of this place. I've had enough of this place and then some. So we actually don't really know what's to the left. Do I need you to shoot through this, I wonder? Because I can't break it, right? Yeah. Great job jumping up in order to catch the projectile. Oh, come on. Nope, that doesn't do anything. Well, I suppose for now we can go back. It might be the case. Wow, that's a lot of damage. It might be the case that if we can learn something, if we can get some kind of cure made or something, maybe we can affect the stuff holding the barriers in place. Just kind of all that undifferentiated biomass can be made to melt away. Looks like the kid's having fun. Guess what? I found you some recipes. I think you'll like this book. Let me see. 2 sky peppers, 1 caddy of fish rice. Oh, this is a recipe. Not just any old recipe. It's a collection of recipes from the best chefs on Penglai. I get it now. This is just a way for you to complain about the food I make. These recipes seem a little over the top. I mean, carve a radish into the shape of a dragon? That's not going to make it taste better. Traditional aristocratic cooking emphasizes both flavor and presentation. Is this what you used to eat? Well, not really. I came from a Taoist family. We made do with simple meals. What? You did all that explaining and then you tell me you never had any before? That may be true, but we still had a lot of choices. Okay, what's the best dish you ever had in your life? I might be able to make it. Oh, that would be phoenix egg fried rice using leftover rice. Oh, I forget how long it's been since I last had it. You should have told me earlier. Egg fried rice is easy. I'll make some for you next time. Well, I think you're better off not trying. I'd prefer to keep those delicious memories intact. That's kind of a fucked up thing to say to the kid. Let's see here. Do we have any new platforms? Doesn't look like it. You have returned, my lord. Is this the blood serum? I shall begin the analysis right away. Lord Yi, Lord Kwafu, I have completed my analysis on the blood serum. I must say that the results are full of twists, turns, and some unexpected developments. Stop beating around the bush and get to the point. Yes, my lord. Instead of being an antidote to the Tianhuo, it instead changes its form. It's basically a catalyst for the continued mutation of the Tianhuo. Is that why they all turned into monsters? All because of serum injections? The mutant's condition itself is also infectious, so I can't confirm the exact number of those that were infected through that vector. If you require it, I can give an estimate using simulations. No need. Not when we've already confirmed the source. Who would deliberately do such a tedious thing? Yeah, who indeed? Well, think about it. Who's done the most research on the Tianhuo? Who has the technology to do this? The answer is obvious. Oh? Aigong? Well, this doesn't seem like something she would do. Why? Who knows? But I'll be hearing from her soon. Abacus, can you find a way to eliminate these living corpses? They keep regenerating. On that subject, I have good news and bad news.
Locate.
The good news is that we have indeed discovered their weakness. If we know the genetic sequence responsible for their regeneration, we can permanently destroy it. The bad news is that these mutants are an amalgamation of different genetic sources, making it impossible to trace the original genetic sequence. So does that mean we need to find the original cells? Where should we start? Based on my calculations, these cells were obtained from a Solarian, one that ages very slowly. Like the imprisoned Kang Hui? Oh, could it actually be Yi? You haven't aged ever since the incident. My apologies, but I have already run those tests. Neither Kang Hui's nor Yi's genetics correspond. Are you sure it's not Yi? You try running those tests again. He has the most enigmatic body in all of New Kunlun. Understood. Let's leave it at that. I'll let you know if I find any new clues. Interesting. Okay, so... My lord, how have you maintained your youth over all these years? To think that the primordial roots can grant everlasting youth. I was kind of hoping for a little bit of a push. I feel like there was one place that we could still go that hadn't been, that I didn't actually go, and now I don't remember. Alright, do I have any poisons left or anything? I don't think so. This is Soul Severing Blade. Yeah, we have a lot of stuff. So we don't have a lot of money because I did drop my cash. We do have a chip for you though. If you're all the same model, why do you all talk so differently? You, Solarians, all talk the same? Is that a fair comparison? Go ask people who made us. You know, if I could, I wouldn't be asking you. Okay. That's not what I wanted. Here we go. So... apparently I missed quite a lot in this area. Well, there's something... yeah, there's something going on here yet. We definitely haven't seen all of that area. Here we got everything of value. Here we got some stuff. I have missed some just like... the loot bags are just like money, I think, usually. There's still an area that we haven't even... yeah, there's stuff we haven't even been to in the Empyrean districts. So that's part of what's going on there. I have to say, this is an awful lot of stuff that we are missing, though. It does kind of make me want to run back over there and check. Yeah, let's do that. How much money do I have again? 40. Well... I just got an achievement for breaking the clay pot made by Xuan, and I would like it to be noted that I didn't do any such thing. I'm all the way over here. That clay pot is over with the dude. The kid is responsible for his own problems. Alright, so from where we spawned, just like... I know there were some areas we couldn't get to. Is this also blocked by... yes, this is also blocked by one of those. So until we can figure out how to break through that stuff, it might be the case that every route that is still showing here is blocked by one of those pillars, because I remember there were a lot of them, certainly. This one's broke. This one's blocked by a more traditional thing, but it's still locked on that side. Maybe a little slow on the uptake here. Enough? That is enough. Good. At least those guys are worth a lot of money. Well, it does look like we are locked out of this area for the most part. How is that? So that's connected to there. Alright, hold on a second. Let me try something. So we're gonna go back to the node, we're gonna teleport out, we're gonna teleport to that area. Then try to take the elevator up. I do hope Xuan's not going to be mad about me or mad at me about his pot, because I really didn't break it. Couldn't have been me. Alright, so the Sky Tower has elevator access right here. Also... yeah, just a thing that has to be approached from another side. Am I allowed to go up? I'm not allowed to go up still. If I take this down to the Lake Yaochi ruins... yeah, it doesn't really do anything for me, does it? And then the other level is the Tiantao Research Center, which is a place where we have a huge number of unexplored areas, actually. So maybe that's where I ought to be trying to get to next. What's the best way to get there? So that would put me over here. I guess it doesn't really matter. Like, the path from the central transport hub doesn't look too bad. We'll take that. And we'll just continue to feel around while we wait for something to unfold on that other story front. Yeah, before we went off on the adventure that led us to all the stuff that just happened, I feel like we were told by the computer man there were like 3 or 4 paths to pursue, and I pursued some of them. Huh. Interesting that there would be one of these that we didn't complete. Before we leave here, I would like to see if I can find where the other half of that is. Why would there be a thing that's still locked? Maybe I didn't know how to deal with part of it when we first encountered it, or... Fortunately, I have really no idea where the other half of it is. And that's the kind of stuff they don't mark on the maps in this game. The maps here they're definitely less than optimal, I would say. Well, that would seem to be exactly what we're after. What a messy parry. What do you think the odds are that it's just a component? No, in fact it is a whole Solarian artifact, the 4 treasures of the study, an ancient writing tool. Calligraphy has transformed into a traditional art, with emphasis being placed on the erudite, scholarly atmosphere created by each purposeful brushstroke. Each stroke creating its own atmosphere. In this economy. Alright. Wait. Is this right? Is this what I wanted? I think I wanted one of those things where you stuff yourself into a box. Come to think of it, I did indeed. This was not it at all, but we found that artifact, and that's cool. Sorry, I totally looked at the map and just went to the wrong place on it. Now I'm just pressing buttons. Okay, so I actually need to go up slightly from the node. Something tells me that we will survive, although perhaps now it is I who am not being respectful of everyone's time. Wow, our sword really is hitting harder. Okay, here we go. it may end up being the case that this whole area, like every place that looks blocked off, every place that looks unexplored is actually blocked off. And if that is the case, then I shall be very annoyed, because they should represent things more clearly as blocked off, or they should, you know, the Prince of Persia Metroidvania that came out like last year, it has so many good answers to these kinds of problems. See, this is where we would still, it would be helpful to have a solution to these kinds of problems. Also, wow, key charges really doing some work. Yeah, did this all look like this last time we were here? I mean, it very well may have. Oh, well, that's embarrassing. I'm gonna disengage myself from you. So, I mean, I need to try to explore this area. This guy is going to have to die. I'm going to take great pleasure in starting the fight as unfairly as possible. Okay. I was wondering if I could, like, hop up. Right, because when they shoot you, when you get a successful aerial parry, it does bounce you upward in the air a little bit. Yeah, but it's really hard to time it. What I need is to get him to hit me while I'm pretty much at the apex of my jump. Oh, it's actually really close. Aha. Thanks for the ride. Is that the way you're supposed to do this? I think. I don't really know how else you would do it. And why else have an infinite a turret that can shoot you infinitely that you can't get rid of, right? Like, I think it's very silly that hit me. Okay. So just infinitely respawning. That's a bummer. Doesn't let me go anywhere anyway. But from here, damn it. That really sucks. Okay, an aerial block also does recharge your double jump, which is a thing I had not realized, but obviously is extremely valuable. Okay, this platform doesn't seem to be necessarily the most useful place to be, but I couldn't tell from below. Going through health reserves a little quicker than I would like, and not unlocking new elevators here. But this is significant. deflection. Oh god. Whew. Trying hard to survive. I think I'm gonna wait here until my internal health all recovers and then smoke. Okay, that looks significant. Oh, it's one of these. There we go. Dusk Guardian case file number 40. I'm taking my senior officer to Ascension Palace. He already finished his Dusk Guardian service and was eligible to be discharged for hibernation. However, what appeared before us wasn't a hibernation machine. It was a killing machine. I saw all the others who had been discharged there. Some turned into monsters, and those that didn't were just being kept as experimental subjects. Was there no hope to begin with? We used all our strength to escape here, but now my senior officer's injured, and all the medical equipment here is broken. How did it come to this? Yeah, it's a pretty bad situation, actually, all things considered. Like this here, this is terrible. I hate that. I do, however, love hacking while this thing just watches. That's pretty fun. So this goes down? Yeah. Okay, right to this level. Nope, I want to get in. Okay. It just wouldn't let me get back in until after, like, the amount of time it took before E became an option. It's clearly designed to get you hit. Wow, that's something. Moving by in the background there. It's a hell of a fish. Okay, no reason, as far as I can see, to fight you just yet. What do we have here? Ah! Beautiful. Just as we were about to run out of pipe charges. Yi, can you hear me? There's something I felt was off when I woke up, but we never had a chance to talk about it. What is it? Do you know about the Dusk Guardians? Well, I don't know much, but I've seen them mentioned in some documents. Well, the Dusk Guardians are staff responsible for maintaining all operations at New Kunlun. Over the past 500 years, while the Solarian passengers slept, they worked to ensure that everything kept functioning. I thought New Kunlun's systems were fully automated. Well, relying solely on automated systems comes with risks. What's more, since you were in charge of developing the autonomous systems, Aigong was worried you might have tampered with it. So after you were out of the picture, she greatly limited the scope and clearance for all high-intelligence systems, including Abacus. She then personally recruited the Dusk Guardians, which report directly to her. I never had the spare time to play petty games like this. How have these Dusk Guardians stayed alive for so long? Have they been genetically modified like Chiyo? No, they're Solarians. It goes without saying they were also infected by the Tianhuo virus. Aigong's strategy seemed to be to use them in shifts, which prolonged their lives. The weird thing is, when I woke up, I couldn't contact a single Dusk Guardian. It's like the entire organization had evaporated into thin air. That's the first time something like it has happened in over 500 years. Well, that explains why everything's falling apart. Could the mutants have something to do with why the Dusk Guardians vanished? Well, I don't know, but they were effectively Aigong's personal guard, so I wouldn't be surprised if they were conducting shady activities. Their headquarters is inside the research center. You might dig up something there. Yeah, I sure might. I assume that there's only one version of that conversation. And so Yi, the reason that Yi was not responding the reason he wasn't acting like we had read all the stuff that we've read is just that it would be, it would have been a big pain to program a bunch of different versions of that exchange based on how much information or what specific information you've encountered from the Dusk Guardian logs, many of which have been optional. Was the one I got, the one that I just got here was on the critical path, right? But is that the first one that's been on the critical path? I don't remember. So I don't know what exactly you have to have seen by now. So they just write a single version of the thing because that's much easier, but then you end up having the sort of like stupid protagonist system where your character behaves as though they don't know a lot of things that you are supposed to know. Okay, this is not a helpful place to be just yet. Once we can get through that that bit at the bottom, it'll be more interesting. That needs to be opened from the other side. So, I guess we're headed back up. Can I get... Alright, let's try to lure these things over. We can get through here, certainly. That seems significant. But the power is all fucked up over here. Is this a door? I don't know. It's not opening in any case. Yeah, okay. We'll have to figure something out. Quickly. And these things do have a lot of HP. Ow. Also, I forgot that they had a big red attack, so I was not ready for it. Okay. Mostly I was curious if killing him would have an effect. It did not. There's a guy up there. Ah, almost. So it'd be easier if I was just fighting the one guy. Well, you can come over here. Getting him to, getting him to do the 1-2 strike on me is probably the way to do it, right? Because I can probably... Aha! Okay, it turns out there's not actually anything up here. Well, that's annoying. So there's a door. There's a thing that's marked as a door up there, but it's not enterable. This is a closed thing. That can't be accessed. So let's drop down here. Yep, that's locked. Oh my god, you guys, come on. That's locked over there. I guess let's just see what is beyond this this exit then. Yeah, go ahead and pursue me. Okay, the answer is a map that we've been to before. Now there's stuff down here. I guess we can try some of that. Maybe Kwafu, like... We gotta find their headquarters, right? We gotta find the Dust Guardians' headquarters somewhere. Hopefully down here is the right spot to look. Okay, can't drop through that, but I should be able to drop through the stairs, I would think. The way the art for the stairs is done, seems like. Let's stand over here. Ow. Yep, everything is extremely emergency mode down here. We never went to the right. No, of course not. Because it's not traversable. That's a pretty good reason to have never done it. Hey guys, this feels significant. Like, I get that it's a spooky horror moment, but, shouldn't we care about this, maybe? Ugh. I wonder if I just, like, missed a nymph access window somewhere. Maybe up by that door that doesn't seem to actually be a door. Okay, well there's one more spot, it looks like, that should be accessible that I didn't go to. Yeah, if we can, maybe we can get somewhere through here. So there's all these beams, then I went up here and everything got scary. This stuff is all just breakable, right? Yeah. God damn it. A passenger token, a recyclable. A token carried by Solarians for identification and as a voyage log. Can be recycled at the 3D printer. Today is my 25th day on New Kunlun. Are you all doing well, my masters? With all the rumors and conspiracies flying around, I believe it's my responsibility as a streamer and one of the chosen to let the world see the truth. I hope everything will be better once we wake up from hibernation. I will continue to keep you all in my thoughts and dreams. Oh, they had influencers. Truly a doomed society. Okay, so not the most helpful then. Okay, so I guess technically that Solarian log was not on the critical path, because you could have run over here and skipped that room. Fair enough. Let me get back up here and see. Are there, like, nymph nodes that I missed? It doesn't look like it. It doesn't look like anything. This area is hackable. Yeah. It's clearly a body of some import, but we just got to restore power to this door, and I have no idea how to do that. I mean, all these things I'm sure are tremendously important once we can figure out how to melt the pink stuff. But yeah, being pursued by unkillable enemies, definitely not super fun. It's the thief zombies all over again. What's going on here? Oh good, you're back just in time, Yi. The food's still hot. Where did all this food come from? Remember those recipes you gave me last time? Well, Uncle Chubby mentioned that he missed the food from Penglai, so I tried making some. I'm gonna call him over. Don't just stand there. Sit down and eat with us. Now isn't the time to relax. I need to hurry, and having a meal won't take up that much time. Hey, this tastes pretty good. Not bad for an ape man. What do you think, Yi? You know, it's funny. I'd have never thought that with everything that's going on, I'd be able to sit down and have a proper meal. Knowing that death is always around the corner the moment I leave this pavilion. Yeah, if you think about it, it's all pretty absurd. If you like, I can do a lot more cooking for you in the future. The future. Yeah, I've been thinking. Can we go on a trip somewhere one day? Well, where do you want to go? I don't know, but I think it'd be fun to travel and hang out with everyone. Abacus can make the plans, Uncle Chubby can deal with the equipment, and I can be the chef. And what's my job? You will be in charge of chatting with me. Huh. I guess the possibilities are just endless with us four together. I don't mean to interrupt, but how should I approach this dish in the middle here? Oh, I actually never finished that dish. It's not finished? Well, I couldn't find one of the required ingredients. It needs a sated heart. Do you know where I can find one of those, Uncle Chubby? A sated heart. It would probably be better if you don't finish making it. But they call this dish the Peachy Primate Paradise. That sounds fun. No, you listen to your Uncle Chubby. Do not ever make this dish. Why? Do you guys not like it? Yeah, it's become impossible to think of eating it now. I feel like they should have just been like, yeah, no, we don't like it. That's the deal. I would not want to have that. Oh, that's right. We did find a thing. So actually, now I've heard about the crazy parties your people get up to in the Imperium district. So, is it as extravagant as they say? Huh. Well, it's extremely decadent, but I can't bring myself to blame them for it. They have long since given up hope and are now treating their final moments as one big party. Partying till the very last minute. Well, more like numbing your senses till the very last minute. I am very carefully not breaking the pot, regardless of what that achievement might try to convince us. So what was the... Okay, 3,500. That passenger token was not worth very much. However, this will do it. And I think the fact that we are now out of stuff in his menu means we've got to be pretty close to having all of the health ups, right? There might be like one or two more, but I feel like we've been thorough with our health meter. Yep, just jam the whole scorpion in there. What the hell is this? It's even got a tag on it. Well, I guess it became fashionable to keep one of these as pets. I don't understand it either. Prices for these scorpions skyrocketed once they were bred and modified to be docile and affectionate. The only thing they didn't modify away was their venom. Pets? Animals should be raised then slaughtered. It's absolute nonsense. It's so salty. That tough shell gets stuck between my teeth. What's the point of raising one if it doesn't even taste good? Well, pets aren't usually raised for consumption. What's troubling you so deeply that even alcohol can't alleviate it? Oh, nothing. Just some complicated feelings. People from the village have been coming to me, asking me to make medicines and antidotes. What a pain in the ass. I'm not really the benevolent type. But they keep begging, so I always end up helping. Some old geezer brought me some newly made bedding to thank me. They also mended the holes in a few of my clothes. I'm not used to the other villagers treating me like this. Well, if they're treating you well, what's there to worry about? I was thinking, if I got along with those stupid villagers, what would the guru think of me? That guru again. You mentioned that name a lot. You have no idea how frustrated she could get. She knew about everything and suspected that there was something going on in our village. No one believed her. They thought she'd gone insane. And then one day, she found a secret passage deep inside the forbidden cave. She said she was going to unveil the truth and impress everyone. I wanted to go along, but no matter what, she wouldn't let me. That was the last time I saw her. Chances are she bumped into a guard. The ignorant villagers started saying she was spirited away for her insolence. And before I knew it, we'd already chosen a shaman for the village. They used the guru's story to intimidate everyone into following the rules. What a crock of shit. Is that why you're always wandering around? Are you trying to find her? Well, at first I did, but the more I witnessed, the less hope I had of her being alive. Oh, whatever. At least I got as far as here. The guru didn't teach me all those things in vain. I just need to get stronger, and maybe one day I won't have to rely on others. You can always go on your own journey. But you can't even begin to imagine the loneliness you'll have to endure. You have to be sure it's what you want. It's a weird interaction. Anyway, here's his poison. This fruit tastes pretty normal. You sure it's poisonous? I can't really enjoy normal food. And we learned at school not to touch it due to all the parasites burrowed inside, so I have no idea. You dumbass. You believe everything they teach you at school? The small white granules inside pack quite a punch, though. You know, they're pretty good. Really? So it's edible? Why don't you take a bite yourself? Come here and stop shaking. I haven't moved. Oh, come on. Now you have two heads. Hey, why'd you turn your face into a bug? You trying to impress me with your theater tricks? I'm glad I listened to my school teachers. Alright, and now let's just eat some leavings made of all that. Now, what a pity. If the guru could have lived a few more years, she would have been able to see all this. You can go and tell all the other villagers. They don't really need to know. I thought I knew the whole truth. I suspected the shaman was hiding an entire peach grove behind the mountains. This is completely different from anything I had imagined. Ignorance can sure be nice at times, huh? You're drunk. I thought you wanted to prove you were right, even if it spelled the end of your life. Maybe ignorance is kind of bliss. Alright, even more tiny HP increases. I mean, we're doing it, There's no doubt that we are doing it. Don't suppose you've made any headway? Nope, okay. That's a real shame, because that means I'm going to have to figure out somewhere else to go. It's been a minute since we talked to Kuafu. Let's go make sure Kuafu doesn't have anything new to offer us. The Enlightenment Sanctum. Has it really become a dead city? Now, that was the most important area of them all. We really shouldn't have handed it over to the Fang clan and their irresponsible heirs. They aren't the only ones responsible for this predicament. The Empyrean district can't have fallen that easily. New Kunlun seems to harbor secrets hidden to even you and me. Okay, that's a pretty low information conversation. Guess what? I found something boring for you. Here. This is a calligraphy brush. Stop writing with that crude charcoal. Oh. Wow, you write with this? How do I hold it? You're holding it backwards. Now remember, the order of your strokes is very important. The tip is so soft. Now my words look all crooked. Well, practice more. It's not easy at first. As a first-timer, you're already more talented than I ever was. Who taught you to write? Was it your mom, dad, or your teacher? We had a big tree in our yard, under which was my first classroom. Back then, I had a clingy classmate. Who was your classmate? Pay attention. That's another mistake. Calligraphy demands focus. You mustn't be distracted. I know. Thank you for the penny. I just thought of some new ideas and I want to write them down quickly so I don't forget. Are you done with your story yet? I'm already at chapter 102. The hero dug out the divine sword from the fields and is now going to the sea to duel with the fish princess. Okay, that sounds like a good opportunity to practice. Now don't forget to keep your back straight. Your eyes should also be a healthy distance away from the paper. Okay. This kid's getting like a pretty world-class education, all things considered. All right. So there's no place unexplored here. If we could unlock the elevator here, maybe it could get us somewhere new, but it sure doesn't seem like... I mean, it's interesting that this is not represented as a hard bottomed surface, but I don't think I can actually descend in there. And so for the moment, it doesn't seem like the research center has anything else for us. There must be something I'm missing. But obviously it would be tremendously helpful if we could figure out how to melt that pink biomass garbage. Okay, we haven't checked in with that guy and made sure we were talking with him for a while, so. I guess for the moment, you know, timing being what it is, for the moment I can just go ahead and say that's going to be it for us for today. We got through a boss, we saw some new stuff, we figured out an area to be in, and when you come back next time, I will have scoured the available map for some new direction to make progress in. So come back next time for that, and we'll see you then.